Going through a breakup fucking sucks. I know. I know it sucks. And there's a lot of advice out there that I see people giving, especially in the men's side of things, which is, go hustle more, go make more money, go be a boss, all this other kind of stuff. But the issue that I see with that is that you're taking a pain and you're transmuting it. And that's great, but that doesn't make it go away. So a woman broke your heart, and so now you go and make a bunch of money. And that cures the pain, just like a rebound cures the pain for a few minutes. But it's coming back again. Because now you've just placed it into something else, money, your business. What do you think happens if that business fails? What do you think happens if you lose that money? What do you think happens if it doesn't go your way? Now you're feeling that pain twice over. And it didn't teach you the lesson that you needed to learn from the initial heartbreak. You just buried it and found a way to cope with it. And I bring that up because obviously I went through a breakup myself with somebody who I cared deeply about, somebody who I really anticipated living my life with. And I didn't deal with it all that healthy, and I acknowledge that and I accept that. But I give myself grace, as should anybody. Look, motivation's hard to come by. Discipline's hard to come by. Sometimes it's really difficult to get out of bed for a little while. Sometimes it's hard not to just watch Netflix all day. I get it. I know. So here's a couple things that I did that helped me begin the path to rebuilding myself and finding consistency and start going after what it is that I truly want to do in this life. And so what I did is I just picked a couple things, 2 things to be exact, that I wanted to leave every day with. That's it. If I was a total piece of shit for the day where I didn't do any work or anything like that, I sat around and watched sad movies or couldn't get out of bed or all this other kind of stuff, I made sure that I did 2 things. One of them was exercise. I made sure that I went to the gym 5 days a week. And on weekends, I'd go at least for a long walk or a little run or go play some soccer or something with friends. To do something that moves my body, to start getting in better shape. And it doesn't need to be all damn day, 30 minutes, an hour a day. Move your body. Okay, and the other thing that I did was the mind. I started this reprogramming visualization program. And you don't need to necessarily do that. But find 30 minutes to an hour a day to take care of your mind, to fill it with positive things, or to just meditate, or to just journal. But do something that's healthy for your mind, to help you process some emotions, to help you look at ways of maybe overcoming some limitations, maybe finding a new way to look at things, maybe overcoming some negative thought patterns, some negative thought loops. Assess the lessons that you learned in the past relationship. What was that person there to teach you? Because every relationship they're a teacher. They're supposed to trigger you. They're supposed to piss you off. They're supposed to get on your nerves. And heartbreak is a part of life, right? If you think of life as a wave, which it is, because everything is waves, you have a compression state on the down and you have an expanding state on the up, right? And you can think back, there's times when you're down, there's times that you're up. Being down in compression, we mistake for depression. But it's not. It's just a compressive state. And it's okay. It happens, right? You lose the girl, grandparents pass away, your dog dies, right? You lose your job. Those things happen, okay? And afterwards, you just want to find a way to continue to rebuild yourself in a healthy manner instead of displacing and foregoing learning any fucking lessons. What happened? How you feeling? What can be learned? How can you rebuild yourself so that you can become stronger in a healthy way to understand what it is you truly want out of this life? And that's it. And if 2 months passes just like it has for me, and you look back and you say, well, I was pretty inconsistent with everything else, but my meditating or my journaling and my exercise was on point. I did that 7 days a week for 2 months. Do you know how powerful that is? You're starting to build that base back up, right? You're starting to build that foundation. Now you have consistency. Now you have a healthier body. You have a healthier mind. You're thinking more clearly. So it's just a simple little thing. But it's so powerful. And so I implore you to give that a try. It worked for me, and I know it'll work for you too. Now, I'll add in a third thing here that I think is also really, really powerful. So when you're in a relationship, a lot of times, well, actually most of the time, you kind of forego something that you really enjoy, that you really love. And even if you didn't, there's something that can be added. So one thing I think is really powerful, or one thing that I believe is really powerful, is to find just another interest that you have, that you truly have. So you're building your mind up, you're building your body up. What's something that you really enjoy that you haven't really delved into? Maybe it's playing an instrument. Maybe it's singing. Maybe it's writing a story. Maybe it's some kind of self-expression. Maybe it's just something else that you enjoy. For me, I started watching Formula One racing. I've always loved racing, but I never paid that much attention to Formula One. And now that I was kind of freshly single, it was just another thing that I really enjoy. It was something that I kind of brought into my life that I enjoy to do. And then another thing is playing guitar. I've played guitar. I've played music my whole life. So it was something else that I can bring back into my life, since I haven't really for 2 years. So it was just another piece that I got to experience for myself, because now this is what I would like to do, right? So you're building your individuality back up. So what's something that you can kind of add or enjoy, maybe that you kind of suppressed, maybe that you stopped doing, or maybe that you just have an interest in? Bring that into your life now. Now, another thing that I'll talk about is that inevitably you might succumb to some self-sabotaging behaviors. I'll be honest with you, I went out a couple times, more times than I needed to, probably more times in the first month and a half of being single than I did throughout the whole 2 years of being in a relationship. And, a common thing for guys out of a relationship is to want connection with a woman. And so obviously that would be something that I was seeking. And I'd get back late, early in the morning, and the next day I'd feel bad about it. But I realized that it was just a self-destructive behavior that I was doing because of the pain that I was going through. And I gave myself grace and understanding for it. That's not the life that I'm going to live forever. It's not the life that I want to live. It's not what I like to do, but I can have compassion for the part of me that was seeking that. So if you're doing some things that you don't like during the 2 months, it's not about just stop, don't. It's more about saying, okay, you know what? I didn't really like doing that. And that's not something I really want to identify with. Noted, I give myself compassion for being there, but I choose to move forward. And that is going to be a lot easier for you to let go. Because whatever you resist persists, right? The alcoholic hates being an alcoholic, but the more they hate it, the more it pushes them to do it more. So being a little bit destructive, being a little bit sad, having some grievances is normal. Just keep your consistency with your body and your mind. Give yourself some forgiveness, acknowledge it, journal on it, and move forward. Okay? Then you are building a healthy foundation instead of just displacing your anger, taking your anger and saying, I'm going to make a bunch of money now. I'll prove to them. It's going to come back at you. The emotions that are trapped in your body, the somatic responses, the somatic and the emotional responses that come from those wounds are locked inside, and they will show up in your cognitive behavior, period. So you want to be able to adjust them well and transmute them in a healthy way. And that's what's worked for me. Here I am doing something that I've always wanted to do and something that I love, which is making videos and helping people with the same things that I'm going through and to become fucking happy. And it's something that I noticed working through this in a healthy way with my body and mind first, and giving myself forgiveness for the shortcomings and desires that I was going through it's really helping me have a new perspective on life. And now I feel more motivated and inspired than ever. And it's coming from a healthy place to where my sense of self-worth is not tied into the outcome of this, whether this gets 10 views or 100 million. And my self-worth won't be tied into the next woman that I'm with. But if you use your relationship or your breakup to fuel some other kind of big breakthrough, then you run the risk of putting a high amount of importance on it. And if that crumbles, then you are in the same spot or even worse. It's only you in this life. That's all you got. And you shouldn't be motivated by external things, no matter how great or how bad they are. You should only be motivated by fulfilling your dharma, what inspires you, what lights you up, and come from a place of authenticity. That your sense of worth is not tied into anything other than nothing, actually. You don't need to justify your worth. You are worth it. You're amazing. Nobody needs to tell you anything. No amount of money needs to prove that. Just be you. Be great. Choose what excites you. Go after it. Detach from the outcome. And I promise you it'll work out. When you're in alignment, the universe presents the how, and you don't have to ask or wonder about it. I hope you stuck with me this far, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a lot from it. I'm going to be here twice a week for foreseeably ever. So if becoming fucking happy is super interesting, I would love if you liked and subscribed. And join me on this amazing journey of self-discovery, overcoming limiting beliefs, aligning with your purpose, and just being fucking happy. Have a good day. Have a great day.